Hey, wow. We are live from the Cardone Group World Headquarters here in Orlando, Florida. I am Derek Simons, and I'm going to be taking you through another edition of Automotive Fridays. That's right, I'm Derek, not Grant. I know there's some continued conversation about that. A little bit different here. I'm Derek with the Cardone Group. Grant lets us jump on here on Fridays and talk about the automotive vertical. That's what we specialize. We specialize in helping dealers maximize their sales and customer satisfaction all across the U.S. and Canada. So I'm Derek. It's Automotive Fridays. And hey, here in the U.S. of A., we're getting ready for a event weekend. It is Memorial Day. Memorial Day is upon us, and that means that this is one of the best car selling weekends of the entire year. So we need to make sure that we are ready and we are rocking and rolling and that we are maximizing everything that happens. You know, I wanted to start out. I do this a lot. I take a couple of quotes from Grant's book, and then I use those to open the show because I think it's important to kind of get the context. A lot of the stuff that we're doing this year is focused on 10Xing your business, right? Everything that we're looking at and everything that we're doing with our automotive partners is we're trying to help them figure out how do we get to the next level? And the next level does not come from what we're doing today, right? In fact, oftentimes the next level comes from an evolutionary leap in what we have been doing. So when we look at this, I was reading the 10X rule, and Grant says one of the problems with success is that it demands continuous attention. Success tends to bless those who are most committed to giving it the most attention. It's somewhat like a lawn or garden. No matter how green it gets or beautiful the flowers, you must continue to tend it. You have to keep mowing, trimming, edging, watering, and planting. Otherwise, your grass will turn brown and your flowers will die. That's the case for success as well. There is no retreating for those who want to create and keep it. It's a myth to believe that the successful get to kick back and stop making the very efforts that have brought them to fulfillment in the first place. So I want you to think about that for a second. If you're successful, you don't stop doing what you were doing, because if you do, you're not going to be successful, right? We all know, we've all seen the motivational quotes on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. We've seen the motivational posters that have been in our offices from time to time, right? They're all sappy, but the reality is successful people take massive action, and they continually take massive action. They're not sitting around waiting, right? So it's a holiday weekend. What does that mean for you? Well, I want to talk a little bit about advertising, right? One of my favorite stories about automobile advertising comes from a dealer group we used to work with. And the dealer was talking to me one night, told me about his most successful ad that he ever ran. That ad was a letter. He only sent out 60 copies of that letter. The 60 copies of that letter were to all of the employees. And then he came in and did a big meeting and said, hey, we're going to do a big sale. I'm sending out some letters. The letters are going out, letting people know what we're going to do and how we're going to take care of them. I'm going to have some clowns here. I'm going to have a balloon guy. I'm going to have some hot dogs, have some drinks. We're going to do a big sale for 4 days, right? And the deal is that anybody that gets the letter can give it to one of their friends, and they can get employee purchase pricing on any vehicle that we sell. So he only mailed it out to 60 people. Those 60 people were his employees, and he got them excited about it. Those employees turned around and gave out that letter to their friends and family. And they told people about it. And then they got excited about the advertising, right? They believed it, they bought into it, and they got customers in the door so that they were able to sell them vehicles underneath the guise of the advertising, and it worked. They had the best weekend that they've ever had at that store. Moral of that story is that we, as the employees at the dealership, we as the people that are the ambassadors for the brand and are engaging the customers, we have to be excited about the advertising. There's a dealership that we work with, and they've got some ads that they're very aggressive, right? They make some really big claims in the ad, and the salespeople actually tell us we don't want to talk to customers that come in on the ad because we know we're not going to make any money. Customers are going to get upset when we have to tell them they can't get what exactly it says in the ad. And it's a negative experience for everybody involved, okay? So when we look at what's happening in the auto industry today, and hopefully it's not happening at your dealership, right now we have to engage customers, right? We're engaging them with price or with payment. We're engaging them with advertising that brings them into the dealership, right? Some sort of event, right? We're bringing them in right now, Memorial Day weekend. We need to be prepared. All of us, everybody at the dealership needs to be prepared to be able to address any questions that a customer might have about the advertising. So here's a challenge for you. If you're working at a dealership and your dealership has any specials that are going on for Memorial Day weekend, here's what I'm challenging you right now. I want you to know what those specials are and where those vehicles are parked, and know how to explain it to any customer that comes in. Because if you can't do that, you lose all credibility in regards to the advertising. I'm going to challenge you that you should know what your national ads are. The manufacturers are spending hundreds of millions of dollars this weekend. You know why? Because they want to sell cars too, right? They've been retailing cars to your dealers so that you guys can wholesale them to the public for them. That's what's happening. But here's the reality. They're putting their money where their mouth is this weekend. There's a lot of lease specials. We were just talking about it this morning. We're watching all the leases and the incentives get updated as all the manufacturers put their stuff together for Memorial Day weekend. So what's the benefit to you as a salesperson? You need to know what you're selling. You need to know what the incentives are. You need to know what the current lease specials are that are being advertised. You need to be able to talk intelligently about that because the manufacturers are pushing that, right? You need to know what you're promoting there at your dealership. You need to make sure that you're comfortable with where that vehicle is parked, how to show that vehicle, and how to explain the advertising. Because if you can't, you're going to lose any credibility that you have with the customer. So I want to go to something that was said last week. I was looking through the comments afterwards on YouTube, and somebody was making a comment about this guy just wants them to push the stuff on him and sell them something. No, what I want is for me to believe in my product that I'm selling, and I want to be passionate about that belief. If I can't be passionate about that belief and I don't feel like I'm selling the right product to the right person at the right time, then I'm probably not going to do it myself. That's just me. So I need to believe in my product. Okay. That's real. I need to understand my advertising. That's real. If you can't do those two things, you're going to have a hard time, right? So let's make sure. This is my challenge to you. It's 2:06 out here on the East Coast, UBIA. It's Friday. Make sure you know what's advertised. Make sure you know what's running, what's on your website, right? What are the national offers that your manufacturer is pushing? Because if you know those things, it's going to put you in a good position to be able to talk with the customers when they come in. That's what we need to do. We need to be information providers. We know right now, here's the reality. Customers already spent 8 hours on the internet looking at the vehicle, doing research. They've already been to 3 OEM websites. They've been to 3 or 4 independent websites like an Edmunds or a Kelly. They've done research, and they've been to 3 dealership websites. I promise you, they've already seen the national ad. They've already seen your banner ads on your website. They've already seen any of the flyers that are built into this weekend's business. They've seen that stuff. You guys don't need to be afraid to talk about it. In fact, I would engage it and I would bring it up, because when you bring it up, what have you done? Hey, I imagine you're probably here because you're on our website. Got a great Memorial Day weekend sale going on, and it's a pleasure to have you here. What vehicle can I get you information on? Right? I want to initiate that. I want to be the one to bring it up. Don't let your fear of that ad get in the way of you being able to sell a car. Right? Let's think about that. Let's initiate it. Hey, welcome to the dealership. I'm glad that you're here. We have a huge Memorial Day weekend sale going on, which I'm sure you're probably aware of because you've probably already been on our website. What vehicle can I get you information on today? Right? It's that simple. We need to drive this, and we need to think about who we are as an individual brand and who we are as a dealership brand. I was talking to a friend of mine, and they've got a technology product that allows salespeople to get individual ratings on them, right? Reviews on them, and it promotes it, right? So that the salespeople have their individual thing where they're talking about the salesperson and all the good things that they've had said about them. We need to think about that. What are you doing to drive your own brand, right? Now, I got a quote for you. So, handy dandy 10X leading practices library. Sergio Zyman was the former chief marketing officer of Coca-Cola. Okay, pretty smart fellow. Coke did a pretty good job with marketing for a long, long time. He says everything your company does and says at any given moment, down to the tiniest detail, either subtracts or adds value to your company. Okay. Now, as an individual, replace that company with you, right? Everything you do, does and says, everything that you do or say at any given moment, down to the tiniest detail, either subtracts or adds value to you. So if a customer comes in and says, hey, I'm here to see that car that you had advertised for $199 a month. What are you talking about? Right? I cannot tell you how many mystery shops we've looked at where salespeople have actually said, well, that's not our ad. No, I saw it. It was on your website. It's $199 a month. No, we don't have anything for $199 a month. Yeah, you do. Right? What have you done to your value? You've thrown it out the window. And we have to be willing to address the customer important issues right up front. We have to be willing to talk about it. We have to be informed. We have to be knowledgeable, because your customer certainly is, right? You need to know. You need to be prepared, and you need to be able to handle it positively. Hey, welcome to the dealership. Have a huge Memorial Day weekend sale going on. In fact, I'm sure you're probably here because of that. You probably saw it on our website already. What vehicle can I get you information on today? Boom. And we're sliding right into it. Okay. So when we are engaging a customer and we're trying to move them deeper into the process, the one thing that you've got in common with them right now is you've got information, and that's what they want. Period. They've already done research. They didn't come here looking for a friend. They saw something that motivated them to come in, or they're in a position where they had time this weekend and they're ready to buy. And it's time for you to capitalize on that. You need to be providing them a level of experience that's passionate, right? That believes in your brand, that believes in yourself, that believes in your dealership, and that allows you to get them deeper into the process and show them the value of doing business with a professional dealership, with a professional salesperson. Okay. So a couple of things. I just want to make sure that we think about this, right? In your advertising, does it match what you're doing in your sales process? Meaning, can you actually do what you're advertising? Okay. If you don't understand how it works, ask your manager. If you've got a car advertised for $199 a month, you need to understand it's $199. It's plus taxes. So with $2,899 down, if the customer's got any negative equity, it's plus that too, right? Can we show that to a customer logically? Yeah, we really can. I want you to look at this. If you have a customer that comes in and the car's $199, right? And that's with $2,899 down. Okay? It's $199 with $2,899 down, right? What if they've got $4,000 in negative equity? That's really not that much right now, is it? Right? They got $4,000 in negative equity. Well, guess what? That $4,000 is $80 a month in payment. What about the taxes and fees? Let's say it's $2,000, right? Guess what? That's $40 per month. Okay. So that's 80, 20. All right. So that's $319. Here's the problem. At most dealerships, when a customer comes in on an advertised payment and we start to present the figures, we tell them, you don't get the $199. You're at $319. Well, that's not true. Everybody gets the $199. Everybody gets the $199 with $2,899 down. Your balance to the bank's $80. Your taxes and fees are $40. It means your total payment on the monies, that's $319. That's logical, and it's real. One of the things I talk about a lot with managers is I say, we don't want to do something that a salesperson is going to feel is out of ethics. Customer comes in on $199 and all we do is show them $319. How's a salesperson feel about that? How do you feel about that? How would you feel about that as a customer? You wouldn't, because you don't understand it. There's not any logic. So break it down for them. Make it easy for them to see where the areas of opportunity to improve their position are. Hey, if you want to pay your taxes and fees, it'll lower your total payment by $40. If you want to pay your negative equity, it'll lower it by $80. In fact, you can pay it completely down. You would be at the $189 or the $199. Okay. It's easy to show this to a customer because it's logical. It's super logical, right? We want to make it easy as we move deeper into the process, not harder, right? If we're getting to the negotiation experience, we should be closing 50% of the people that we present figures to. Okay. Our goal is what? We want to write up as many people as we can, because we know if we outright you, we'll outsell you. Okay. The best, most successful salespeople I know, you know what they do? They write up everybody. It's just what they do. Intrinsically, they understand that. They know that the deeper they get into the process, the more likely the customer is to buy. Okay. Doesn't mean we're jamming anything down anybody's throat, but we're giving them the option, right? We're presenting it to them. We're asking them to buy, and we're doing it logically. Don't just do emotional exchanges. Don't just do numerical exchanges where you're just like, yeah, well, you don't get the $199 because it's $319. Okay. You need to explain it, right? Everybody pays $199 with $2,899 down. Your balance to the bank, your negative equity, that's $80 a month. Your taxes and fees, that's $2,000. That's $40 a month. That means your total payment on the monies is $319. The car's still $199. It really, truly is. Okay. The advertising is set up that way, right? Plus taxes, plus negative equity. It's the way everybody advertises. It's real. It's the way it is. So look at your OEM's advertising, right? I was in one of our OEMs that we work with, had a big meeting with a whole bunch of the vice presidents, and we were talking, and they were telling me how great their lease program is. Man, our lease program is the best. And I said, yeah, what's so good about it? Well, our down payment is lower than our competitors for the same type of car, same monthly payment. I said, yeah, what's your down payment? They said, it's $2,899. And I said, what's that plus? And they said, it's plus acquisition fee. It's plus taxes. It's plus dealer handling fee. It's plus freight delivery, whatever. Okay. I said, really? I said, and what's the average negative equity, right? That your clients, your dealers are seeing? And they're like, well, it's $3,000. I said, okay. So what you just told me is that to get to that lease payment of $189 with the $2,899 down, a customer really has to have about $8,000 cash in their hand to get the $189. And they just didn't understand that, right? So everybody can get the $189, but we just have to tell them logically why it doesn't work sometimes. It's not everybody pays $189 because that's what the car truly is. Your taxes are your taxes. Your negative equity is your negative equity. Your fees are your fees, right? It's logical. We can explain it and we can make it make sense. And that's what we're doing here using this technique we call payment breakdown. So me individually, right? I'm a salesperson. I need to know where my inventory is, right? I need to know what I'm doing with my inventory. I need to know what the advertised specials are on that inventory. I need to know what my national, regional specials are from my manufacturer. And I need to be able to talk intelligently about them, right? I want to make sure that I am doing everything I can to answer the questions and get us deeper into the process. I promise you the customer's already done the research. They've already seen it. It's the reason why they're there, okay? That's why they picked you and not the other dealership, because they're only going to go to 2, right? National average right now, 1.2 to 1.6 dealerships per purchase. That's the national average. Used to be 5. It's not. It's 1.2 to 1.6, depending on who does the survey. Think about that. Basically means you got about a 60% chance to sell them a car if you don't screw it up. They've already done the research and they're there. The people coming in this weekend, if you're in the Southeast, we're going to have a lot of rain. It's going to be a rainy weekend. The people coming in on Memorial Day weekend, they're there to buy a car. They're not there because they're bored. They're looking for something to do. They're there to buy a car. So think about that. You've got a real opportunity to be a professional, to take them to the next part of the purchase process, and you need to do it using whatever information you have to. Hey, welcome to the dealership. We've got a huge Memorial Day sale going on this weekend. I'm sure that's probably why you're here. Probably saw it on our website. What vehicle can I get you information on today? Right? Be happy. Be glad that you're there. This is the time that we can have a very successful weekend. We have a ton of clients that we look at historically that will do double the amount of cars that they have delivered as of yesterday. Whatever they have delivered through Thursday, from Friday till the end of the month, they'll double that amount of cars. We've seen it happen time and time again. This is a great opportunity for everybody, but we got to believe. We got to be ready. We got to be committed to what we're doing, and we have to take steps. Okay. So now, internet leads, phone leads that are coming in. What's the goal with them? We need immediate appointments, right? We need them today. If I get an internet lead, I want that person in today. If I get a phone lead, I want that person in today. How are we going to get there, right? You're going to get there by providing information, by answering their questions and taking them to the next step, which is to physically get them to the car. Okay. We need to get those appointments this weekend. That's going to be the huge driver. I cannot overemphasize this. If you're a salesperson, I'm challenging you right now. Get 2 appointments for today, 2 appointments for Saturday. If you're working Sunday, get 2 for Sunday, get 2 for Monday. If you get those, 1 will show up and you got a chance of selling a car. Okay. If you really want to make this happen and you get your massive action going on, get you 4 appointments. You got 4 appointments. You're going to get 2 to show up. You're going to deliver a car for sure. That gets you 4 cars over the weekend. I know you can do better than that. I know everybody here is stronger closers that's watching. That's why you're doing this, because you're willing to take the steps to get better in your craft, right? Because this is a profession. I really believe that the people that used to do this that aren't professional aren't in the business anymore, because they can't be, because reputation matters now. Dealership reputation matters now. How you behave matters. How you drive yourself as an individual brand matters. So we need to be powerful. We need to be passionate. We need to know our information. We need to use that information to get the customers deeper. Okay, it is 2:20. That's 20 minutes worth of stuff. That's Automotive Fridays, Memorial Day weekend, but it works for any holiday, works for any event that you got going on. Really want you to pay attention to the opportunities. When that phone rings, when you get those internet leads, make sure you're scheduling the appointments. You need them now. That's a critical piece. You need those appointments now. Let's get them in here and let's maximize our ability to create some revenue for ourselves individually. Let's sell a car for fun and profit. That's the reason why we all get up and get dressed in the morning and come to work. Okay. Automotive Fridays. Check out CardoneInstitute.com. Check out 10xyourprofits.com. We've got all of our links are in all of the descriptions. You can follow us on any of those social media sites. Again, Lindsay is our resident social media stalker. She's watching you guys, and anybody that shares this video, she's going to go ahead and send you something because of doing it. So I appreciate you. Automotive Fridays, have a great weekend. Let's maximize it, and I'll see you next week for another edition.